And again, we welcome you back to Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. Hard to believe this is the 20th Pittsburgher, but we're glad you could be here. We're just about set to go racing. Before we do, we ask that you please rise. Tonight, before our national anthem, we lost one of our former late model champions this past week, Fran Gower, who was the track champion here in the Super Late Models back in 1985, passed away. And tonight we ask that you pause for a moment of silence in his memory. Thank you. And now to honor America, the Wee Jams with the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
A lot of racing to come. We're glad you could be with us for our grand finale for 2008 here at Dirt's Monsters Super Speedway as the Pizza Hut Super Late Models come to life for their first of two B mains. 12 laps the distance. The top four finishers will transfer into tonight's Pizza Hut Pittsburgher 100. Those B mains for the UFO Tour, UFO Championship by Comcast. John Hotchkiss takes the lead into turn one from the pole. John Malik is second in closing ground as they head down the back chute. Lance Elson third. Al Atsala 0-2 is fourth. Then 75 of Mel Minnick. It's Hotchkiss out in front. Malik now slips high, and Lance Elson off the low side of turn four will move to second in car 17. Malik with momentum on the outside of turn two, trying to close back in on Elson. Atala still fourth. Melmanic fifth, spinning car 11. Car 11. Nick Duratz over in turn two, brings out the caution. The winner here in 2008 is fourth. We're back racing. Hotchkiss continues to lead. Elson second, Malik third, Atala fourth, Minnick is fifth, then Scott LeBaron in the 8L. The Hotchkiss Construction 69 shows the way. Elson, Malik, and Atala second, third, and fourth, still tightly bunched. Jim Lepro now in car six, driving into the fifth spot, the Butts Place machine. Atala up on the outside, trying to carry momentum here into turn four, trying to swing by Jim and Johnny Malik, and he'll do that, but the caution is out. Scott LeBaron has looped the car in turn four. Car 8, Scott LeBaron brings out the caution. Foul restarts, leader gets lane choice. 9 laps to go. Jeff Plura waves the green flag. We're back racing at Dirt's Monster Super Speedway. Into that first turn, Atala down on the bottom side will go from third to first in the Todd's Auto Body American Environmental Service 02. Hodgkiss now second. Nelson is third. Malik fourth. Lepro fifth. Jimmy Lepro moves to fourth in the Bud's place 6. Moving by the 4J of Johnny Malik. Malik now returns the favor down the backstretch. He's up into fourth in the L&R Racing 4J. Mel Minnick and Rodney Schweitzer wheel to wheel behind them for 6th. Minnick on the inside will have the 6th spot. Schweitzer is 7th. Kerry Gasser running 8th. Good battle for positions 4, 5, and 6. John Malik, Mel Minnick, and Jim Lepro now up on the outside. He had been on the bottom side of the racetrack. He moves to the top shelf. We're halfway through the first of our 2 B mains. Lepro challenging Minnick again off at 2, but Mel holds him off as Alan Salo extends the advantage. 5 laps to go, 5 to go. John Malik still in the final transfer spot in car 4J. Rodney Schweitzer in the 84 trying to close on Jim Lepro for position number 6. Into turn 3 and 4, Lepro still holds him off. Kerry Gasser. Dent Boyer run next. Here comes your leader completing lap number 9. 3 to go for Al Atala. Hodgkiss second. Lance Elson third. John Malik fourth. Minnick, Lepro, and Schweitzer. Good 3-car battle in 1 and 2. Mel Minnick, Jimmy Lepro, Rodney Schweitzer, and racing close, but Minnick's been able to hold on to that 5th spot. He's a candidate for a possible UFO provisional, as is Schweitzer. 2 laps to go, 2 to go. Off the pace of the back chute, Nick Durant setting the pits, white flag waving this time for Al Atala. One more time around the Monster Super Speedway. John Hodgkiss second, Lance Elson third, John Malik fourth. The final go-round out of Bridgeville, the Todd's Auto Body American Environmental Service 02. Al Atala picks up the win in our first of 2 Pizza Hut B mains. John Hodgkiss second, 17, Lance Elson third. 4J, Jam and Johnny Malik will get the final transfer spot. Lepro, Minnick, Schweitzer, Gasser, Boyer, LeBaron, chance to make the dance. Here they come. Kyle Lucan, Ben Miley, bringing your UFO late models to life. Lucan darts into the lead from the pole. Matt Lux quickly to second. Miley drops to third. Tommy Beck is fourth as they thunder down the back chute. Lux now to the inside of Lucan. Battle for the lead in turn 4. It's Kid Kyle just ahead of the Franklin Flyer by a half a car length. Saggy moves up into the 5th spot in car number 8. Off at 2, Lux off the low side, shows his nose in front of Lucan. Now they're wheel to wheel into 3. Lucan up on the cushion, carries some momentum on the outside. Lux has found some bite on the inside. The Alternavats 21 is your leader. Ben Miley third, Tommy Beck fourth, Alan Saggy 5th. In turn 2, Kid Kyle to the outside of Lux, down the back straightaway. Contact as they enter turn 3. Lux still in front, Lucan second, Miley third, Tommy Beck to the inside of Ben in turn 4. Saggy 5th, Mark Moat Sr., Dave Wade, Tom Durantz, and a host of others. This will be lap 4, 8 more times around, 8 laps remaining. Luck still in front. Lucan stays in tow. Miley third. Beck fourth. Wreck here off the fourth turn. Matt Dobnak in the D42 spins around. The caution is out. Matt Dobnak brings out the caution with 4 laps down and 8 remaining. Lux hits the accelerator first. The green is out. Beck with a problem in the 91 car right off the bat. Well, he goes back. He was fourth. Now he's on the gas on the outside trying to get back up there. Alan Sagi digging off the inside will slide into that 4th spot down the back chute. Lux leads, Lucan second, Miley third. Tommy Beck to the outside of Mark Moats. No room, has to back out of the gas as he tries to charge back up into a transfer spot. Lux still in front of Lucan, Miley third, then it's Sagi. Dave Wade now, the Yingling 76, will duck into 5th. Ben Miley, meantime, to the inside of Lucan for second, halfway. Matt Lux, Kyle Lucan, Ben Miley, and Alan Sagi head down the back chute into turn number 3. Miley again to the inside of Lucan as they enter the 3rd turn. Open motor, spec motor coming off of 4. It's Lucan by a half a car length as Keith Rodriguez goes pit side in car 29. Front 4 have checked out. 4 more laps to go for the Franklin Flyer, Matt Lux. The Alternamatch 21. Lucan and Miley not far behind as they exit turn 2 down the back chute. Ben charging into the corner trying to close in. We got a crash in turn number. Dave Johnson in car 697 spinning atop of turn 1 to bring out the caution with 8 laps down and 4 to go. So the deck will be shuffled again. We will double the field up. 4 laps remaining in this one. Green is out. Lux leads, but here comes Kid Kyle. Lucan to the outside of the banking off at turn 2. We got ourselves a drag race down the back chute. Ben Miley slips, and now Mark Moats Sr., who was way back, is now up into 3rd in the 23. Things are heating up. Lux is back in front. Lucan trying to take the lead back into turn 1. Moats, Sagi, Miley, and Wade. Wheel to wheel for the lead down the back chute. It's Cal Lucan, your leader. He had the lead, he lost the lead, he's got it back. Matt Lux trying to pull alongside again in turn 4. Mark Moats sits in 3rd. Alan Sagi 4th. Ben Miley 5th now. 2 laps to go. 2 to go. Dave Wade and Tommy Beck right behind Miley down the back chute. Ben with a great run on Alan Sagi into turn 3. 1 more lap to go. 1 to go. Car into the wall in the back straightaway. Looks like the D42 of Matt Dobnak. We also have a car into the wall on the outside. That would be the 11 of Jim Stein. Dobnak is down next to the inside guardrail just past the scoreboard. Matt Dobnak in the D42. The 11 of Jim Stein against the outside retaining wall, backing up there, trying to move forward. Starting grid here, the 20th annual Pittsburgher weekend, and the green is back out. Ben slips high in 1, the 99 car. He's still 5th, trying to mount a charge on Alan Sagi here on the final lap. Lucan leads, Lux is 2nd, Moats is 3rd. Off of 4, Kid Cal Lucan wins it over Matt Lux, Mark Moats Sr., and Alan Sagi.
Green flag waving for Tyler Atkinson. Danny White pulls into second. All the way up to third, starting last at 23. Alec Bronaszewski to the inside of him, to the inside of the 23 through turn 4. Tyler Carson slips through turn 2. Alec Bronaszewski pulls to third by himself. Danny White tries to pull to the outside of Tyler Atkinson for the lead through turn 4, but Atkinson holds on. Danny White to the outside down the front straightaway for the lead. He'll take the lead through turn 1 off of Tyler Atkinson. Halfway for Danny White. Three-way battle for the third position between Alec Bronaszewski, Tyler Carson, Tyler Atkinson to the outside down the front straightaway for the lead. White flag, Danny White. Brian Baerbach slows on the front straightaway. Checkered flag coming for Danny White. $100 winner over Tyler Atkinson, Alec Bronaszewski. First of all, congratulations.
Thanks.
They always say the third time's a charm. Third win of the season, $100.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
How'd the car handle tonight?
Yeah, a little tight, but I dealt with it.
Could you describe the battle between you for the lead?
I don't know. We had a little bit of a tango there in the heat yesterday, and I don't know. It sort of played out here today, but I don't know.
Congratulations, Danny. Eric Goldberg takes the green flag out of turn 4. Dan DeShide has a problem off the start. He goes straight to the back. Dan DeShide gets it moving. Still slow down the back straightaway and through turn 3, but it's still all Eric Goldberg, followed by Gary Smith, Brian Hutchko, and Jeff Bronaszewski. Brian Hutchko to the inside of Gary Smith now coming out of turn 4. Can't make the pass coming down the front straightaway. The 10 of Dan DeShide, who was slow on the first lap, brings it to the back straightaway pits. Goldberg still has the lead over Gary Smith, Brian Hutchko. Hutchko tries again out of turn 4 to make the pass, can't do it on Gary Smith. He's to the inside again through turn 1. Still there in 2. Single file down the back straightaway. Eric Goldberg takes the halfway. Jeff Bronaszewski has caught Brian Hutchko through turn 4. He's to the inside, still there down the front straightaway. Still there, Jeff Bronaszewski. Still on the inside, Brian Hutchko coming down the back straightaway. Side by side coming out of turn 4. Still side by side. Bronaszewski slips in turn 4, past the start-finish line. Hutchko had him cleared. Meanwhile, Eric Goldberg has almost a corner lead over the 66 of Gary Smith. Goldberg almost hit the wall coming out of turn 4. 2 to go. Jeff Bronaszewski has caught Brian Hutchko again. He's to the outside, coming out of turn 4. White flag, Eric Goldberg has a half a straightaway advantage over Gary Smith. Hutchko to the inside of Bronaszewski through turn 2. Bronaszewski finally takes the spot from Hutchko, that's for 3rd. But here comes Eric Goldberg out of turn 4. He'll take the checkered flag. Amateur stock champion Eric Goldberg takes the checkered flag, followed by Gary Smith and Jeff Bronaszewski. Ed Weiser and Bruce Hamilton make contact through turn 4 and spin. Congratulations, Eric.
Thank you very much.
Well, as we already know, you're the amateur stock champion. How's it feel to finish off your championship year with a win?
It feels really great. You know, I've been racing for 5 years in this class, and I've never won this race, so I've always tried to get this race because it definitely means something to win it.
We saw you bump the wall out of turn 4 on lap 10. Could you describe to us what happened?
Well, I come really close. I don't know if I really hit it or not. We got a little loose, and I was driving hard. And, like all year, I never know if there's any pressure on me. There could be a car right on my bum, or it could be 10 car lengths back, and I never know if he's there. I just drive it hard.
Is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank my wife and my son, Angelo and Daniel. And I got a special thanks to Ron and Richie and a lot of guys that's helped me over the year with the car, getting this car here.
Congratulations, Eric.
Thank you. Thank you.
Eric Goldberg, your 2008 Flint Iron Auto champion. Go ahead, Eric. You can have the mic.
One
back.
more thing. The potato chips I get tonight, I'm sharing with anybody that wants it, and the pop, too. Come on down and get
Wow,
it.
what a guy. You're all heart, Eric. Potato chips and pop on Eric. UFO Summit Pittsburgher Championship. The green is out. Cal Lucon takes the lead into turn 2. He moves up the bank, and we got cars hard into the wall. Laura Lucon and Mark Moach Jr. hard into the wall in turn 2. 84 Laura Lucon, the 15 of Mark Moach Jr. 76 Jason Ryder spinning to avoid the accident. It will be a complete restart. Anyway, 25 laps the distance as the green waves again. Problems at the back of the field. Hard wreck into the Ute tires on the inside of the front straightaway. That is car 28C. Mike King here for the first time. A hard hit to those Ute tires. The only downfall of this division this year here is there have been a lot of wrecks. There have been a lot of wrecks. Complete restart again. Daryl Charlier and Josh Holtgraver. Green is waving another time. 25 lap feature events. Now we've made it through turns 1 and turn 2. No, Jamie Beck has spun around over in turn number 2. Jamie Beck in the 92 has spun around in turn number 2. Caution is out. And we'll try this for the 4th time. Off of turn number 4 another time as we get back racing. Lucon is still your leader. Schoenhofer second. Tight racing down the back chute in the back of the field. Hey, we may get a lap in. Here they come. Lucon in front. Bryant Hank is second. Schoenhofer third. Curry is fourth. Daryl Charlier fifth. Scott Schemp is sixth at the end of the first lap. Justin Lamb 7th, Rocky Kugel 8th, Josh Holtgraver 9th, and Daniel Angelico and Mike Fager Jr. battle for 10th. 2 laps in the books. Three-wide battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th. Scott Schemp, Justin Lamb, and Rocky Kugel down the back chute into turn 3. We got a spin over in turn 2. It's the 22 of Jeremy Kleemuck. Jeremy Klimuk in car 22 has turned around in turn 2. 22 in turn 2. And we're off. Ooh, banging wheels, the 8s. On the back straightaway, crowded. Jason Ryder glances off the wall in the 76, and now he's going to spin the car and throw. He saves it again. Caution is out for the 76 of Jason Ryder. He tried to wreck. Reed is out again. Tim Stefanik, we're told, has a problem with the 65. He's still on the gas here in the back of the field. Lucan leads, Brian Hanks second. Dennis Curry is now third. Tommy Schernhofer fourth, and Daryl Charlier fifth. Mike Pager Jr. moving forward in the 1C, as is Daryl Charlier in car 12. He works underneath the 8 of Tommy Schernhofer for fourth in turn 3. Schernhofer and Charlier, close racing. Laura Lucan pitting in car 84. Laura Lucan pits in the 84. Meantime, we've got a wreck over in turn number 4. Jason Fosnot has got damage on his car. The 5J of Daryl Dow is over there. 7X of Pete Reck. 15H Brian Hoffman. And the 22 of Jeremy Klimuk. Also Jason Fosnot with damage on his car. He is in the pits, I believe, in the J19. Ken Chernick is back in the pits in the C1. And Cal Lucan hits the gas pedal in turn 4. The green is back out. Dennis Curry with a strong restart of the 8 car. Slides around Brian Hank for second. Then pushes up the racetrack. Hank is back in second, Curry third, Charlier fourth, Tommy Schernhofer fifth. Curry to the inside of Hank, back into second in turn 3. And Brian Hank will try to pass him back coming off of 4. Caution for the 92 of Jamie Beck. And we're back racing. Lucan continues to lead. Hank is second. Curry third. Charlier and Schernhofer next in line. And Rocky Kugel making his way toward the front, followed by another driver on the charge, Mike Pager Jr. C1 car of Ken Chernick, who's coming back into the pits. Chernick back into the pits in the C1. Brian Hank trying to close the gap a bit on Kyle Lucan, able to do so in the middle of the turns, but Lucan's winning the battle down the straightaways right now. Charlier also charging on Dennis Curry for third. The Midway Missile now, the 12 car into the third spot. Schernhofer runs fifth. Pager is seventh. Having a bad push in the Mighty Mouse 8 in coming off the turns, having a hard time keeping that car from not running out to the wall. Race behind him, a good one now between Tommy Schernhofer, Rocky Kugel, and Mike Pager Jr. Kyle Lucan has racked up now $100 in lap money as he's led the first 10 laps. Brian Tank second. Daryl Charlier third. Dennis Curry fourth. Rocky Kugel has moved to fifth in car number 7. Mike Pager Jr. on the outside around the 8 of Tommy Schernhofer Jr. So Schernhofer, the pole sitter, off his game tonight. car has gone backwards. Josh Holtgraver. Front straightaway, a bad wreck here on the front straightaway. 39, Terry Kerr. Hard into the wall, down across the racetrack. A lot of debris scattered on the racetrack. A hard hit, Terry Kerr. First-year driver in the Crate Late models making the jump from amateur stocks. That's not the first wreck he's had. Involved in another hard one just about 4 or 5 weeks ago. 11 laps are down and 14 to go. 3 and 1-4-09. Green is out. And as they say, the battle is on. It's still the Cal Lucan show out in front. Bryant Hank, Daryl Charlier third, Dennis Curry. Then it's Rocky Kugel and Mike Pegger Jr. wheel to wheel for that 5th spot. Pegger into 5th. Kugel tries to move back by off the inside of turn 4. Halfway this time by. Ten laps to go, folks. 10 laps remaining. The Rorick Automotive lap money continues to fill the pockets of Cal Lucan, your race leader. Lucan Rep Fab number 1 has been in the hot seat this entire race. Brian Tank second, Daryl Charlier third. Dennis Curry fourth, Rocky Kugel fifth, Pegger is sixth, Holtgraver seventh, Angelichio eighth, Davis ninth, and Chris Angelichio is a close 10th in the 54 car. Seven laps to go, 7 to go. Cal Lucan in the fast lane. Has not made any mistakes. Daryl Charlier trying to put a little pressure on Brian Hank for second, but slips a little coming off the second turn. Jamie Beck has pitted again in car 92. Rocky Kugel now the 7th. Trying to run down Dennis Curry for 4th. We have brothers Angelichio racing now. Right with Josh Holtgraver there. 7th, 8th, and 9th. Holtgraver 7th, Daniel Angelichio 8th, Chris is 9th in the 54 after starting at the tail. 5 laps to go, 5 laps to go. J. Daryl Dow with a problem. Caution is out. Kyle Lucan completing the lap. The lap will count. 4 laps to go. Daryl Dow in the 5J. Your caution. $10 of Rorick Automotive lap money. 4 laps to go as the green waves again. Kid Cow still in front. Pegger with a late race charge here in the 1C, moves to 4th. Meantime, we got a wreck up in 1 and 2. 93X Justin Lamb, 75 Colton Flinner, 22 Jeremy Klemook, and the fun is not over just yet. 4 more laps. Green out. We got a spin on the back straightaway. So yellow is out. Colton Flinner is spun on the back straightaway. There's more than one car back there, I believe. I don't know. At this point in time, I'd believe anything. And we've got a spin in turn 1. Car 54, Chris Angelicchio. And off we go. Lucon still leads. Hank second, Charlier third. Pegger now to 4th. Dennis Curry to the inside of Mike for that 4th spot. Pegger holds him off into turn 4. Kugel now trying to get by Curry for 5th with 3 laps to go. 3 to go. And then there were 2. Mike Pegger to the low side of Daryl Charlier, the battle for 3rd. Off of turn number 2, Charlier able to hold off Pegger for the time being. Josh Holdgraver trying to get by Dennis Curry for 6th. Pegger, though, slides by Charlier in 3, and Charlier tries to duck under Mike in turn 4. We've got ourselves a heck of a battle for 3rd and 4th, the 1 lap to go. Look at that race for 6, too. Hot Rod Davis in the 17, Josh Holdgraver in the 00, and Dennis Curry in the 8, swapping some spots on the final lap. Your winner will be Kyle Lucon. Brian Hank second, Daryl Charlier third, Mike Pegger 4th, Rocky Kugel 5th, and it's Curry, Davis, Angelicchio, Holdgraver, and Shem. Talk real quick so you can get back into the pits. A marathon. That was like that, I think, from the very first lap.
I don't know if we ever had a run that was more than about 4 laps. I mean, I'd have rather got going because I started getting in a rhythm the couple laps times we had more than like 2 laps to run. But got to thank a bunch of people, especially my dad. I mean, the other night of practice, I put this thing in a wall because the right front rotor had exploded. And I thought I blew it up because it caught on fire. We had the thing perfect then. We got it put back together, went out, and I thought it was crap. So I'm glad he kept working on it. Steve Baker, all year, he's been helping me out. I mean, he's been telling me he's trying to help me get used to the late model because it's a lot different. He even lent me a tire tonight, so I got to thank him for that B-main win with that. Looking forward to the feature with the other one. Hopefully I can see you again, but I don't know about that.
I'll let you get going. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
How about a nice hand, folks, for Kyle Lucon, your winner in the Pizza Hut Summer Late UFO Championship. Here they come, folks, the UFO Race Championship by Comcast. It's the Pizza Hut Pittsburgher 100, the 20th edition. Get on your feet, turn 4, and send them off with a Pittsburgh salute. Beck Motor Machines with 2 open motor cars tucked in behind. 100 laps, the Pittsburgher, the 20th edition, is underway. Burgoon into the lead. Baker tries to squeeze by and does off a turn 2 down the back straightaway. Burgoon second. Bradish is third right now. Satterley and Geisler. Off a turn 4, car sideways, and for Mike Johnson, he saves it. Everyone's still going straight as they thunder down the front stretch. Now we got a wreck here at the back of the field. Back of the field, a wreck. 0-2 Awatala, the 8 of Alan Saggy, 69 John Hodgkiss, 17 Keith Barbara, 4J John Malik. I believe the 21 of Matt Lux is the other car involved. Long way from home, 99 laps to payday. Arena's back out. Baker screaming into that first turn. Bradish, his teammate for the weekend, follows him into second. Burgoon is third now, trying to take second from Bradish. Down low, Gary Stuhler tried to slide into fourth. Josh Richards, Davey Johnson down on the low side as well. Greg Satterley gets shuffled up high. Baker leads, Bradish second, Burgoon third. Stuhler fourth, Kid Rocket now running fifth. Satterley is sixth. Contact between Johnson and Geisler. Smoke. They separate and the race is still on down the back chute into turn number 3. Josh Richards now up to fourth. Sliding under Gary Stuhler in turns 1 and 2. Baker leads off at turn number 4 in the Farm Used Auto Parts Richard Construction. Bland Towing 0. 4 laps into the Pittsburgher. He is right in the middle of the racetrack. Lou Bradish second. Brandon Burgoon third. Josh Richards fourth. Fifth is Gary Stuhler. Sixth, Greg Satterley. John Flinner seventh. Mark Banal is eighth. Davey Johnson ninth. And Lynn Geisler runs 10th. 95 laps to go. Baker will be catching the back of the field here in no time. Traffic a half a straightaway in front of your race leader. Baker around the 76 of Dave Wade. The lead has grown almost to full straightaway now for Baker over teammate Lou Bradish. Car slowing in turn 3. That would be the 1 car of Kyle Lucon. Kyle Lucon in the 1 car coming to a slow pace up in turns 3 and 4 with 7 laps down. Green waves again. Josh Richards with a quick restart, able to get by Burgoon and duck underneath Bradish into turn 1. It's all West Virginia out in front, 1, 2, and 3. Baker, Richards, and Bradish down the back straightaway. Burgoon 4th, Gary Stuhler 5th. Lynn Geisler down on the inside, starting to move back up through the field in the Cochran Automotive car. He and Mark Banal race wheel to wheel to turn 3 for about 7th. Baker continues to lead. Richards runs second. Back a half a straight to Lou Bradish in third, being hounded by the 17 of Brandon Burgoon. Burgoon tries to duck under Bradish off of turn number 4. 90 laps to go. 90 to go. Lynn Geisler has problems on the front straightaway here. Mark Moats Sr. with a long slide. You can see Mark Moats' tire marks as he slid there. Right, spec motor outside. Baker hits the gas pedal and the green is back out. Steve Baker still leads over Josh Richards. Lou Bradish third now. Gary Stuhler trying to duck under Brandon Burgoon for fourth. Stuhler will be fourth coming off the fourth turn. Lynn Geisler moves to fifth. Burgoon is sixth. Three wide battle. John Flinner, Doug Dodd, and Mark Banal for about 8th, 9th, and 10th. Flinner slips badly coming off the second turn, loses a lot of ground to that group. As Baker leads over Richards. Bradish, Stuhler, and Geisler. Burgoon 6th, Satterley 7th, Banal 8th, Dodd is 9th. Awatala has come to 10th from the very first lap. He was last. He went into pits on that first lap caution. The 0-2 is up to 10th. It's come a long way in a short time. Gary Stuhler trying to pass Lou Bradish for third. Geisler right behind them in fifth. As Baker continues to lead over Kid Rocket. Traffic not far ahead of the race leaders. 15 laps are down. Gary Stuhler again to the low side of Lou Bradish. Third, fourth, and fifth, a good battle. Lou Bradish, Gary Stuhler, and Lynn Geisler as Baker starts to catch the back of the field now. Lap traffic for your race leader. He moves to the outside in turn 2. Will power around John Hodgkiss down the back chute. Josh Richards trying to stay in tow. Still Bradish third, Stuhler fourth, Geisler fifth. Baker now more traffic as he comes down the front straightaway. He had to get out of the gas. He goes charging into turn 1 right up against the wall. Horse has run many laps up against that wall. 2 lap cars between first and second now. Here they come, third, fourth, and fifth again. Bradish, Stuhler, and Geisler. Baker trying to lap the 81 of DJ Miller as he races into turn number 3. He'll go in above DJ into turn 4, trying to sweep by on the outside. Miller comes up, Baker goes down. Close call for the race leader into turn 1. 20 laps are down. Three lap cars now between Baker and Richards. Richards clears the 75 of Minnick. 21 laps are down. Third place still side by side. Lou Bradish, Gary Stuhler with Lynn Geisler in their draft as they head into 1. Almost 3 wide now over in turn 2. Bradish up on the outside gets a little bite and separates himself from Stuhler and Geisler. Steve Baker continues to set a blistering pace. He's trying to lap the 1 car of Cal Lucon. Josh Richards trying to stay in striking distance. We're still very early as Baker slides under Lucon into 3. Climbs up the banking in 4. and maintains the advantage. Geisler has gotten around Gary Stuhler for fourth. The Cochran Automotive 1C of Geisler now fourth and closing on the third place car of Lou Bradish. Stuhler is fifth. Satterley and Burgoon run side by side in sixth and seventh. Awatala up to eighth. Doug Dodd ninth. Mark Benall 10th. Davey Johnson 11th. Baker now around the four car of Ed Faree. Josh Richards trying to lap the one of Cal Lucon. Just a quarter of the way home. Still 75 laps to go. Baker out in front by half a straightaway over Kid Rocket. Lee Geisler has now taken over the third spot from Lou Bradish, and Geisler has separated himself from Bradish in a quick time. Gary Stuhler now. Greg Satterley trying to work under Hotchkiss and pass Stuhler at the same time here off of turn 4. That race for fifth, with Burgoon, Dodd, and Atala right there as well. They are three wide for 7th, 8th, and 9th. Dave Johnson, I believe, is up to 10th now in car number 1J, or 9th. Baker continues to work the top side. Richards works the low side as they exit turn 2 down the back straightaway. Steve up in his patented groove up against the wall. Lapping the 17 of Lance Elson. Now the 99 of Ben Miley goes down a lap. Geisler third, Bradish fourth. The race for fifth, the good one, Gary Stuhler. Doug Dodd now to sixth in car 12. He is coming on. Doug Dodd into sixth. Satterley seventh. Atala eighth. Johnson is ninth. Burgoon has dropped to 10th in car 17. Into turn 1, Satterley down low, and Awatala on the outside will move by him. Atala now up to 7th. Steve Baker continues to lead now almost by a full straightaway. He will duck underneath Dave Hess and John Flinner in turn 4, passing both. Now he comes upon the 4 of Alex Faree. The top 2 drivers in the UFO points chase, Faree and Miley, right there with the race leader trying to stay on the lead lap. Baker up in front of Faree, a close call in turn 4. Jared Miley able to pass a couple of cars in the meantime. Ahead of the race leader, got by Jeremy Miller and Mark Benall. Geisler by himself in third. Bradish still fourth. Dodd is fifth now, and Awatala moves by Gary Stuhler for sixth. Awatala has passed the most cars in this race by far. Problem in turn 4. Caution out. Problem in turn 4. Caution is out. I think it's the 48 of John Flinner that came to a stop up here in turn 4. Green waves again. Dodd quickly to the low side. He will jump into third into turn 1. Bradish slips, and now Awatala to fourth from sixth. Baker leads. Richards second. Dodd third. Atala fourth. Geisler fifth. 3 wide, 6, but wait, we got problems up in turn 4. Caution up here. Alan Saggy in the 8. Looks like the 4 of UFO co-points leader Alex Faree. Alex Faree in the 4 and Alan Saggy in the 8 are the caution cars. Into turn 4. Green waves again. Baker continues to lead. Doug Dodd trying to duck under Josh Richards for second. Look at Brandon Burgoon split the middle in turn 2. Atala to the outside, Burgoon to the inside now for fourth into turn number 3. Doug Dodd slides up into the second spot. Here comes Burgoon trying to take third. Richards is fourth, Geisler fifth. Atala drops back to sixth. Johnson is now up to seventh. Satterley 8th. Bradish is backpedaled to 10th as Stuhler passes him for 9th. And then there was the zero of Steve Baker. In just 2 short laps, he's opened up nearly a straightaway lead. Al Atala back around Lynn Geisler for 5th. Brandon Burgoon trying to pressure Doug Dodd for 2nd. Dodd has had some good runs over the years here at Pittsburgh. It's been a while. Brandon Burgoon trying to get to the outside of Dodd. Meantime, 3 wide over in turn 2 for 5th. Atala, Geisler, and Johnson. Burgoon to the outside of Doug Dodd. The Three River Scrap Iron, 17, back to 2nd. Josh Richards has got a flat tire. Josh Richards has got a flat tire, it would appear, the right rear. Kid Rocket Josh Richards will be headed pit side with a right rear flat. "30 cars remain on the racetrack as the green waves again. Doug Dodd back under Brandon Burgoon for 2nd. Burgoon on the back straightaway trying to pull even as they race into 3. Geisler 4th, Atala 5th, Johnson is 6th. John Flinner off the pace a 2nd time. Caution is out for the 48 of John Flinner. Green goes again. Now Atala, who had moved up so far, has dropped back some now in the 0-2 car. Geisler tries the outside of Doug Dodd for 2nd. Dave Johnson to the inside of Brandon Burgoon for 4th. Baker leads. Dodd 2nd by just a car length over Geisler. Johnson 4th. Burgoon 5th. Satterley is 6th. Atala 7th. 41 laps complete. 41 laps are down. Geisler to the outside of Doug Dodd for 2nd again into turn number 3. Dodd still 2nd, Lynn 3rd, Davey 4th. Greg Satterley now up to 5th in the 22 car. We've seen a lot of guys go forward, backwards, forward, backwards. Baker by a straightaway. His best ever season in late model racing here at Pittsburgh with 6 feature wins. He is closing on the back of the field again, not far from lapping more cars. 45 laps into the Pittsburgher. Contact over there between Burgoon and Atala. Able to separate and continue on. Atala loses a spot to the 24 of Jeremy Miller. Here comes Baker. Cranking off the high side of turn number 4. He has caught the back of the field. Doug Dodd still second. Lynn Geisler is third. Davey Johnson fourth. Greg Satterley fifth. Burgoon sixth. Miller seventh. Atala eighth. Jared Miley ninth. Gary Stuhler is 10th. Baker now, decision time as he gets into one, but he's got such a huge lead at this point. Does not need to be in a hurry. But he's got himself a hot rod that wants to go. And here he comes. Clear up against the wall in turn 4. He'll squeeze around DJ Miller and John Hotchkiss. His teammate Lou Bradish just ahead of him. Trying to stay on the lead lap. Racing with the 77 of Rich Appolito. Baker will follow Bradish to the outside in turn 4. Into 1. Geisler again trying to turn up the pressure on Doug Dodd for second. He ducks under Dodd into turn number 1. Side by side for second. Off the second turn, Dodd and Geisler in a battle into turn number 3. Greg Satterley has moved to 4th. Dodd and Geisler skating together side by side as close as you can get, and Doug Dodd's able to hold him off halfway through the Pittsburgher 100. Greg Satterley is up to 4th. Dave Johnson is 5th. Burgoon is 6th. Miller 7th. Atala 8th. Jared Miley 9th. Alex Free trying to roll to 10th. Mike Johnson headed pit side in the 2J. It would appear no. He's going to stop and bring out the caution. Caution for the National Citibank Chem Oil 2J of Mike Johnson. Green is out. '29, Keith Rodriguez has bounced off the wall. Caution is out. Caution is out. Green is out again. Greg Satterley to 3rd. Davey Johnson to 4th. Look at Alex Faree. And Richards on the bottom. They're getting really interesting in the back half of the top 10. Richards and Faree continue their charge toward the front. After pit stops for tires, they make a little contact there coming down the front chute and separate into turn 1. Steve Baker still leads. Doug Dodd 2nd. Greg Satterley 3rd. Davey Johnson 4th. Lynn Geisler 5th. Josh Richards 6th. Burgoon 7th. Then it's Free, Atala, and Miller. .45 laps to go. Josh Richards has made his way to 5th. Lane Geisler trying to pass him back into turn 3. Geisler ducks under Kid Rocket and makes that pass in turn 4. And Richards has got another flat tire. Right rear is flat again. Alex Faree runs smack into him. Right rear goes flat again for Josh Richards. Alex Faree was unable to get woed down in time. Caution on the speedway. Good restart from Doug Dodd, but it's still Baker able to get that car length right at the end of the 4th turn every restart. Once he gets the ship rolling. Alan Sackey slowing the start of the 8 car down on the inside of the racetrack. He is going forward. again. Jeremy Miller now into the 4th spot in car 24. He has been the hottest driver in the East the last couple of weeks. Big wins at Roaring Knob and Hagerstown. Matt Lux moves up another spot in the 21. And Alex Ferree is really picking him off in the 4 car. He flies to the outside of Lux. He's up into 6th into turn 3. A lot of good racing back through the field as Steve Baker continues to show the way over Doug Dodd and Davey Johnson, Jeremy Miller, Greg Satterley, Alex Ferree, Matt Lux, and Lynn Geisler. Three wide for 5th. Lux, Geisler, and Ferree, or for 6th, excuse me. Into that first turn, the battle continues. Lux down on the rail, Ferree up in the outer banks, and Geisler right smack in the middle. 40 laps to go, 40 to go. In turn 4 again, they're 3 wide. That battle for 6th. Ferree, Lux, and Geisler this time. Then Miley and Burgoon. Greg Satterley pushing to the outside in turn 2. Caution for the 22 car. Looks like the right front might have gone flat on the 22 of Greg Satterley as the car simply broke to the right like it was going to go smack up into the wall. Or something else. It may have been more than a tire, yeah. Green is out. Jeremy Miller to the outside. Now up to 3rd. Baker, Dodd, Miller, Johnson, Ferree now into the 5th spot. Geisler 6, Mark Mote Sr., 23 car, headed back into the pits. .30 laps, excuse me, 29 laps to go. .63 laps, excuse me, 63 laps complete. Matt Lux has dropped back a couple of spots since the restart in the 21. Jeremy Miller now closing on Doug Dodd for 2nd as they race off at turn 4. Johnson 4th, Ferree 5th, Geisler 6th. Jared Miley and Matt Lux battle for 7th and 8th. Brandon Burgoon is 9th, and Dave Hess Jr. unofficially is 10th. Jared Miley in the H1 does a 360. Caution is out for the H1 of Jared Miley. Green is out. Dave Johnson to 3rd. Getting back around Jeremy Miller. Johnson now swings by Doug Dodd for 2nd in the Style Tax Service 1J. .67 laps in. Baker still leads. Johnson second, Dodd third, Miller fourth, Ferree fifth, Geisler close sixth, Lux seventh, Atala eighth, Burgoon ninth, and Josh Richards is 10th. Caution over in turn 4. It's the 0 of Lou Bradish. Lou Bradish in the 0 brings out the caution. False start, go. Into turn 1. Still Baker over Johnson. Dudgott and Jeremy Miller wheel to wheel for third. Matt Lux and Alex Ferree. Dodd third, Miller fourth, Baker leads, Johnson is second in the Stout Tack Service 1J. Remember the Red Miley 53. Johnson came from the back to second. He's patiently worked his way into contention. Does he have anything for the 0 of Steve Baker with 30 laps to go? 30 to go. Alex Ferree on the outside trying to get around Matt Lux. 5th and 6th being contested between Ferree and Lux. Johnson staying within striking distance of Baker. Both have separated themselves from the third place car of Doug Dodd, and now Alex Ferree has a run on Jeremy Miller for 4th. Dave Johnson has won the Pittsburgher 3 times, one of 2 drivers to do that. Staying with the 0 Steve Baker, who's led it for 73 laps now. Doug Dodd third. These front 2 cars have really now pulled away. Off of 4. 26 laps to go. Thick traffic ahead too. It's going to get very interesting here the next few laps. Baker maintains the lead. Johnson, as close as anyone has been to the West Virginia Rim Rider for a long while. With 25 laps to go. We've got a Saturday night feature still to run. Baker moves to the outside. Trying to lap the 77 of Rich Appolito into turn 3. Clears him into turn 4. Doug Dodd third, Alex Ferree fourth, Jeremy Miller 5th, Matt Lux 6th, Atala 7th, Geisler 8th, Josh Richards 9th, Brandon Burgoon is 10th. Baker now diving to the inside into turn 3 and 4, trying to lap the 0 of Lou Bradish. 23 laps to go. Baker slides up. He's got 3 lap cars now between himself and Johnson. Cars slowing on the backstretch. 69 John Hodgkiss still going as he races into 3. Johnson now has dropped back a bit. There's about 4 lap cars between the leader and Dave Johnson. Johnson clears the 75 of Minnick. Baker meantime around the 17 of Elson. And the 4 of Ferree with a close call in the back chute. He's opened it up to straightaway just like that. The West Virginia Rim Rider is on his horse. Look at him come off of turn 4, splitting 2 lap cars. 21 laps to go. Just like that, he's opened up a straightaway lead as Johnson is still marred in traffic. He'll now split a couple of cars in turn number 2. Alex Ferree on the outside has caught Doug Dodd. The race for third down the back chute. Here comes Ferree to the outside of Dodd. Into 4. Ferree able to pass Doug Dodd for third. Dodd 4th, Jeremy Miller 5th, Atala 6th, Lux 7th, Geisler 8th, Richards 9th, Burgoon is 10th. Here comes your leader completing lap 81. Well, Dave Johnson was able to stay with Steve for about 10 laps after that last caution, but all of a sudden Baker has his biggest lead of the race. Alex Ferree trying to run down the juice for second. Miller has moved to 4th. Dodd, who ran second for so long, is now back to 5th. Atala, Geisler, Lux, and Richards have a good battle going into turn 1 as well. Atala down on the inside clearing some traffic. Geisler and Lux trying to do the same with Kid Rocket in tow. A little bit of daylight for the West Virginia Rim Rider now, but quickly he closes in on Kyle Lucan and will dive underneath him into turn 3. "84 laps are down, still 16 laps to go." Dave Johnson trying to lap the Hookstown Hornets. He has got 4 lap cars between himself and the third place car of Alex Ferree. Ferree now being pressured by Jeremy Miller for third. Jeremy Miller underneath Alex Ferree for third off of turn number 4. He makes the pass. Dodd 5th, Atala 6th, Lux up to 7th now. Geisler drops 1 spot to 8th. Richards is 9th, and Brandon Burgoon runs 10th. Steve Baker having the ride of his life thus far. 13 laps from the checkered flag. He won the F2 Shockwave Twin 30. He won the Red Miley 53. He won 4 other regular feature events here this season. Continues to pick him up and put him down. Now lapping the 99 of Ben Miley. Baker a third of a lap in front over Dave Johnson. Jeremy Miller is third. Doug Dodd and Alex Ferree in a battle for 4th now. Dodd up to 4th. Ferree, who'd come to 3rd, drops back to 5th. Steve Baker, who moved to 5th all time in late model feature wins this year here at the Monster Super Speedway, setting a blistering pace for all 90 laps thus far. He's around the 84 of Rodney Schweitzer, and now lapping the 2J of Mike Johnson. Jeremy Miller still 3rd. Doug Dodd is 4th. Alex Ferree 5th, and Alex Allen now a close 6th, pressuring Ferree down the back straightaway as Alex tries to lap his father Ed. Lux is 7th. Richards has moved up to 8th. Geisler is 9th, and Brandon Burgoon is 10th. Right now we've only got about 12 cars on the lead lap. Despite all the cautions, only 12 cars on the lead lap with 8 laps to go. Right now the 12th place car unofficially Dave Hess Jr. trying to stay on the lead lap as Steve Baker moves to the outside in turn 4. Right up against the wall. He will lap Hess. Jared Miley now the last car on the lead lap. There's some thick traffic not far ahead of the race leader. Dave Johnson second. Still third of a track behind Baker. He has caught the top 10 cars. Baker contact with John Hodgkiss into turn 1. Hodgkiss spins the car. Baker keeps it off the wall. He'd be very lucky if he didn't cut down a left rear tire. Baker and Johnson off of 4. Baker has the lead again. 6 more times around the Monster Super Speedway. Here comes Johnson, though, nipping at his heels in turn 2. Dodd is third, Miller fourth, and it's Lux, Furry, and Richards into 3. 5 laps remaining, 5 to go. Dave Johnson trying to gather up some steam in the middle of the turns to keep pace with the West Virginia Rim Rider. 4 laps to go in the Pittsburgher. Johnson dives in hard into 1. And Baker wins the battle coming off of turn 2. Alex Furry around Jeremy Miller again. That battle for 4th. They've shared it a few times tonight. Furry 4th, Miller 5th. Now here comes Kid Rocket with momentum on the outside. He climbs to 5th. Baker still leading. You got to figure tires are worn. Fuel is low. 2 laps to go in the Pittsburgher. It's a 2-horse race. Johnson into 1, pulls alongside of Baker into turn 2. They're side by side. Off at 2 down the back chute. It's Baker by car length into 3. Johnson slides even in 3 and 4. White flag waving. 1 more lap to go. Baker by a nose into turn 1. Johnson to his inside again. Johnson's got the lead in turn 2. Baker tries to come back on the outside. Down the back straightaway. It's Baker into 3 and 4. The 20th Pittsburgher coming right down to the wire. They're side by side in 4. Baker slips high. Here they come down the front chute. Baker wins. Mark Richards and all the gang. Have a nice hand, folks. It's his biggest win. Steve Baker has just won the Pittsburgher. He's got the trophy. He's going to get the check. Whoa, we had a wreck. We had a wreck. That's all right. Catch your breath because, man, that was a workout.
Yeah, it was, and when the green fuel pressure light came on that last restart, I was just thinking, oh, no, not again. That'll be like the 3rd or 4th time this year we run out of fuel, and it was low when we were sitting up on the banking of the racetrack. The fuel would run away from the pickup, but luckily there was enough to get us through to the end.
I don't think I've ever seen a longer 100-lap race. You led all 100 laps, but, boy, it sure got interesting at the end.
Yeah, it sure did. Davey, I knew he was trying when he got into second. I knew he must have been pretty quick because he started pretty far back, and his race car must have been pretty good too. But we're just fortunate to finish it off.
How about your drive, though? You had, because these guys get back on the lead lap when they're lucky dogged, you must have lapped guys 4 and 5 times, but every time your car seemed to just go.
Yeah, I know a couple times I saw guys on the board that I was behind the lap at one time. So, the racetrack was just fantastic. You could race all over it. If you had to go up to the cushion and race, you could. I tried to stay in the middle of the racetrack as best I could and make them work for it. And Davey definitely made me work for it at the end.
When you got into turn 4 and he was underneath you and then it started to slip high, what were your thoughts?
Get up to the cushion and get that moisture so I had some traction.
What a year.
Yeah, it has been. It's just fantastic. I can't thank these guys enough for everything that they've done for me. You know, Michael and Bill Bland. Michael's here tonight. You know, I think it's the second race he's been to all year, so this was a good one for the car owner to be there. Louis did a great job putting the other car in the race, so that was good. But the guys that work on this thing, Dave, Harry, Billy, Jimmy, John, they're there, you know, every week. And just like I said, this thing has just been fantastic. Another guy I got to thank is Josh Richards. You know, Josh set this race car up the first of the year. It hadn't been on the scale since. So, you know, he helped me with this car, and you know, he's helped me all year. And, of course, my partner, Mark, you know, for letting me do this, you know, get away from the shop and have a little bit of fun on the weekends.
You know, when you won in June, it was your biggest win. It was $3,000. Then you won in July, and it was $5,300, and now you've won $12,000.
Well, we got one more big one to go this year. Maybe we can just keep stepping out.
Up at Challenger.
Yeah, we're going to go to Challenger and try that. You know, again, you know, Dave Drain built us a fantastic engine, and you know, the Hoosier tires worked the way they were supposed to tonight, and just all the product sponsors, you know, Integra shocks, BIA headers, Risco aluminum for putting this pretty purple on this thing, and the list goes on. So I know I'll forget somebody, but we'll catch up to them this week, and I'll call each one of them and thank everybody.
It's the 20th Pittsburgher. Steve Baker's name gets added to a pretty impressive list. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dow. Appreciate it.
How about a nice hand, folks, for the West Virginia Rim Rider, Steve Baker. Let's go racing, E-Mod style, UEMS E-Mods, 25 lapper takes the green flag. Dave Groves on the outside will have the lead exiting turn 2. Right behind him, the Midway Missile, Daryl Charlier pokes his nose into second, or does he? Here comes Tom Martinek back on the inside in the 65 car. Car sideways, almost spinning, able to save it. 27 of Butch Lambert. Martinek challenging Groves, and Charlier right there, almost 3. We got a wreck in turn 1. Wreck in turn 1. 17L Vince Laboon is the caution up in turn 1. Okay, we have a lap in the books, 24 to go. Dave Groves trying to keep all the money in the Mountaineer State tonight. Groves leads, Martinek second. Rich Michael third down the back chute. Andre Layfield in the 11 up in there, and so is the 18 of Keith Berner. Here comes Layfield squeezing by on the outside. Yes, sirree, Andre Layfield up there in the West Virginia Rim Rider groove, up against the wall. We know it's well run in up there. Berner now sliding into third. Groves leads. Martinek drops to fourth. Michael was fifth. Randy Hall's up to sixth. Then Carl McKinney and Butch Lambert. Daryl Charlier, a flat tire in the 12 car. The Midway Missile heading for the pits on the back straightaway. Green stays out. Keith Berner now challenging Andre Layfield for second. Groves still in front. Keith Berner, lots of late model laps, as does the T3 of Dave Groves. Caution out. In turn number 2 on the inside is the 33 of Mike McKee that has spun out. If we have 3 cautions, they'll go single file. Green is out. Green is out. Keith Berner on the inside, Dave Groves on the outside. Off of 4, side by side for the lead. Burner down low, Groves up high. Keith Burner is your new leader. Randy Hall has moved to 4th. Andre Layfield scrapes the wall in turn 2, down the back straightaway, limping on the outside of the racetrack. Caution out for the 11 of Andre Layfield. We got a race going on, and the green is back out. 7 laps in. Keith Burner is your leader. Randy Hall will follow him into second, it would appear, into turn 1. It's still Burner, Hall, and Groves now. 1, 2, and 3. Jacob Hawkins started this race almost in the state of Ohio. He was that far back, and look at him up to 4th in the 13 car. '25th unofficially is where Hawkins started, the 13 car. He hasn't wasted much time in getting to the front. Look at Daryl Charlier picking him up and putting him down on the back chute. The midway missile. Holy moly, he runs out of room, runs smack dab into J.E. Stalter, and he's still going. Unbelievable, from almost flipping the race car. That was unbelievable. It's Burner in front, Groves second, Randy Hall third. Car spinning in turn 2. It's Cal Lucon. He's got to be tired, dizzy, and delirious by now, as many laps as he's run. Cal Lucon in the 8B is your caution over in turn 2. Green means go, and that's what they're doing. Look at the midway missile go again down the back chute. Ooh, baby. He's already back up into about the 7th spot, 8th maybe. He's up in the Steve Baker zone. Keith Burner, a late model veteran, now doing some strong E-Mod racing. The Millersburg, Ohio pilot continues to lead. Nearing the halfway mark, the first Commonwealth Bank, UEMS, UFO Modified Championship. J.J. Bambich rider Stush's 74 has spun around off of 4. And we're back under caution. E-Mod Championship. Still Keith Burner's show. Dave Groves, Jared Hawkins now into 4th. Charlier trying to squeeze to the outside of Tom Martinek for 5th. Comes the midway missile. He's now 5th. Oh, into the wall. Dave Groves, your second place car. Got a little too high. He's still second, but he lost a lot of ground to the race leader, Keith Burner. Randy Hall and Jacob Hawkins on the heels of Dave Groves in that race for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. 10 laps to go, 10 laps remaining. Randy Hall trying to work underneath the T3 of Dave Groves for 2nd. A little better in the middle part of the turn. There, wheel to wheel off of 4. Hall edging ahead in the race for second. Spin on the back straightaway. 74 Bamich rider collects another car as they glance off the wall. Bamich rider in the 74 and Wagner in the 8 are the 2 caution cars on the back chute. We've got 9 luscious laps to go. Randy Hall's turn to take up the chase on Keith Berner. Randy. Yes. Dave Groves comes back at Hall. Keith Berner stretches the lead. Daryl Charlier right on the heels of Jacob Hawkins now for 4th. Hawkins running it high, a little higher that lap, making sure Charlier couldn't squeeze between he and the wall. Just over 5 laps from the checkered flag. Berner is working around the 8 of Jim Wagner on the back straightaway to put him a lap down. Just over 3 laps from the checker down. Now he's got a problem. He bobbled badly in the middle of 3 and 4. He's back on the gas, but he really looked like the car almost came. He's back up to speed. Two laps remaining, 2 to go. Jim Wagner in the 8, putting water out on the racetrack. That might have been what Keith Berner hit a couple of laps back when he slipped in the middle of 3 and 4. 1 lap to go, 1 to go. Berner with plenty of distance between he and the second place car of Randy Hall. Dave Groves 3rd, Jacob Hawkins 4th, and Daryl Charlier 5th. One more time down the back straightaway from Millersburg, Ohio. Keith Berner will win the first Commonwealth Bank UEMS E-Mod Special was part of the Pizza Hut Pittsburgher. Berner wins it. Hall 2nd, Groves 3rd, Hawkins 4th, Daryl Charlier 5th. Words with Keith. First of all, congratulations. We've seen you run a bunch here in the late model, but this is, I believe, the first time in the E-Mod.
Yeah, this is actually our first night out in this E-Mod.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's a new car and
Not a bad way to start.
no, everybody's thinking it's pretty good. Sometimes it's easy to start with and get a lot harder. But Kyle Brown's the owner, and him and his dad wanted to put me in it, and his wife, and he'd hurt his shoulder, and he normally drives a car, so they gave him an opportunity. We're on some of the bigger shows here at the end of the year, and see how we do.
A lot different than driving a late model?
Yeah, it took me a little bit to get used to it. It's definitely, they're different, but it's fun.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How about a nice hand, folks? Keith Berner winning the UEMS First Commonwealth Bank E-Mod portion of the Pittsburgher. Pizza Hut Cadet feature event is off and racing. Quickly into the lead, Pat Hanley, another Pat Weldon trying to move into second and does so at the drop of the green. Oh man, a crowd of cars down the back chute, 3 wide for fourth. Tim Fulmer the 00, Simmons the 68, McManus in the 17. 115 car is up to third. That would be the guy who started third, Dave McLaughlin. Pat Weldon going for the lead off at turn 4. Pat Hanley to his outside. The 380 auto auction at the JEM Lounge. Special going at it here early on. Hanley by car length, your leader at turn 2. David McLaughlin is third. Jake the Snake Simmons now on the outside trying to get into contention. Tim Fulmer on his inside, and right behind him, Craig the Hammer Kamaker. Fulmer will be fourth and Simmons fifth. Pat Hanley still in front over Pat Weldon, and now Tim Fulmer to third. Off the pace a little bit down the back chute. Getting overhauled anyway. Dave McLaughlin ends up back in the 6th spot in the 115. Weldon now right on Hanley's tail as they enter turn number 3. Kamaker to the inside of Jake Simmons and moving to 4. Lap 5, 20 to go. For the lead in turn 4, Pat Weldon dives underneath Pat Hanley and takes over the top spot. 18 laps to go. Car slowing in turn number 4, the 69 of Bendishaw. Flat tire for Bendishaw. He stays on the racetrack now, crossing the racetrack. Okay, he's okay. We're still green. Weldon, your leader over Hanley, and now Tim Fulmer, a very close third, and Craig Kamaker starting to reel in the front 3 cars in the 72. He's right up against the wall, or was in 1 and 2. Bendishaw has pitted. He lost the tire, just went off. The right rear just rolled off the rim. He went into the pits. Tim Fulmer now into second. Or is he? Pat Hanley back at him. No, a little bit of contact. They slip and slide on the back chute. Fulmer's second. Hanley is back to third now, and Kamaker still fourth. Simmons is fifth. Pat Hanley is really pouring it on now. trying to score his third win of the season and pick up that $1,000 first prize. He is right in the middle of the racetrack. Car working like a charm. Car with a flat tire, it's Wayne Carbo, I believe. Wayne Carbo headed to the pits in the 54. Craig Kamiker, a little bump on the 380 of Pat Hanley in turn 4 that time. Hanley still third and Kamiker running fourth. Simmons fifth. Dave McLaughlin in the 6th spot, and the 115 being pressured by a 1B Bill Robertson, and the 10 of Kachuba, the 92 of Heim, Schwartzmiller, and Catellus. Caution, it's Robert Betts in the 81. It's turned around in the middle of 1 and 2. Robert Betts in car 81, I believe. Tim Fulmer takes his turn alongside of Pat Weldon. Pat Weldon maintains the advantage. Craig Kamiker is now your third place car. Things are about to get interesting, it would appear. Fulmer second. Sliding their way around the Monster Super Speedway. Weldon, Fulmer, Kamiker. Hanley fourth. Robertson's up to fifth. 115 of Dave McLaughlin next. And a whole bunch of cars. Jake Simmons having problems. He was fifth when the restart, when the caution came out. He has backpedaled immensely. Kamiker might have caught the wall down the back chute in the 72. Quick dart to the inside. He's back on the gas, going higher and higher though in turn 4. Yeah, he's got our flat tire. He did hit the wall. The right front is flat on Craig the Hammer Kamiker 72. He glances off the wall again in turn 1. Caution out for the 72 of Craig Kamiker. Good restart for Pat Weldon. Fulmer will charge into the corner though and try to pull alongside. Pat Hanley edging ahead of Bill Robertson for third. Nick Kachuba trying to move into the 5th spot. Bob Schwartzmiller at his inside. And here comes Fulmer trying to pass Weldon for the lead in turn number 4. Down the front straightaway, Tim Fulmer will lead lap 17. Now Pat Weldon has to take, Schwartzmiller up in front of Kachuba. We got a wheel off a car, it looks like. We got a wheel or tire bouncing down the back straightaway. Came off the 28 of Bob Schwartzmiller. Inside, here we go, back up to speed. Pat Weldon's been really strong on the restarts. And he's got the lead back as we head into turn 1. Billy Robertson in the 1B trying to get by Pat Hanley for third. Bobby Hyman, the 92, now into contention. Here comes Fulmer back to the inside of Weldon. But it's Pat Weldon, your leader again. Bob Agley, who started at the back of the bus in the Barney Mobile, is well up in there now in the 30 car, the Lernerville champion. Fulmer the faster of the 2 cars by far in the middle of turns 3 and 4. But Pat Weldon is your leader. 5 laps to go, 5 to go. Pat Weldon slipping and sliding there in turn 4, but gathers it back up, maintains the lead, but not by a whole lot over Tim Fulmer. Tim Fulmer actually led just the 1 lap. Prior to the last restart. Slows back in a bit on the heels of Pat Weldon. Two laps to go, 2 to go. The final lap of the season is about to unfold. Pat Weldon trying to pick up the Pizza Hut Cadet $1,000 to win paycheck. May be the biggest win of his career, by far his biggest win here at Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. We got a car off the pace on the outside of turn 4. Caution is out, caution is out. We got a problem up in turn 4, and it's not over yet. Tony the Tiger White comes to a stop up in turn 4. Green is out. Pat Weldon ready to give up the ship. Phil Robertson and Bobby Himes side by side for 3rd. Robertson into the spot. This is the final lap, we hope. For a busy 2008 racing season. Monongahela's Pat Weldon started 4th, got into 2nd on the first lap. Once he got the lead, he lost it once, and he's got it back, and he is going to be your $1,000 winner. Tim Fulmer 2nd, Bill Robertson 3rd, Bobby Heim 4th, and Pat Hanley 5th. As you say, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. Congratulations.
Oh, man, what a race. That's the one to win there.
Is this the biggest win of your career? $1,000?
Yeah, it probably is. It probably is. Feels good. I didn't know. I seen that caution come out on the last lap. I thought, oh my God, he's going to get me. But just kept telling myself, be smooth, and I'll get it.
What was the key when you lose the lead like that? You were able to get it back.
I think the key was he took the bottom. I liked the top, and I was glad to see he wanted the bottom, and I knew I could get him again on the top. So it worked out. Just like to thank my sponsors for the support all year: Al's Cafe, Gem Lounge and Restaurant, Sign Guy Graphics, my crew, my dad, my nephew, my son, and Denny, the other crew guy. He wasn't able to make it tonight, but we're happy.
You get the check, your son gets the trophy. It's a winning night.
That's it. It's made his night, that's for sure.
All right, Pat Weldon, folks, your final winner of the night here on the Pizza Hut Pittsburgher weekend. Folks, we thank you for coming out. We hope you enjoyed a busy night of racing. Please take your time going home. Have a great week and off season. And we'll see you back at Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway in 2009.